Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Sablan, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Cardona, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for your service, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for continuing the BLSF program. Yeah, right. The student loan program. Appreciate that. You mentioned in your testimony, Mr. Secretary, you mentioned mental health for schools. May is, as you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which provides a good opportunity to raise awareness about the importance of access to mental health services, especially for our students and school communities. We must also fight this month and every month to erase all stigma around seeking treatment for mental health concerns. I've heard firsthand from parents, teachers, school administrators, and students themselves about their concerns for their well-being, and I share this concern with you, Mr. Secretary. One transformational step towards addressing this growing need was the bipartisan Safer Communities Act. May I ask you, Mr. Secretary, can you tell me the status of different programs, also Stronger Connections Grant Program, the school-based mental health services grant, and the mental health service professional demonstration grant program? How do these programs help meet the mental health needs of today's students?
Yeah, thank you for the question. You're absolutely right. As Dr. Vivek Murthy identified, we are in a youth mental health crisis. And if we go back to the schools that we had in 2019, we are failing our children. We need to do better. I'm proud that the bipartisan Safer Communities Act provided in education $2 billion for mental health supports, for professional development for staff, for Stronger Connections dollars to help ensure that school safety plans are appropriate and up to date. Those dollars have made a significant difference. We've seen a 40% increase during that time of school social worker availability. We've seen close to 30% more school nurses available to our students in our schools. It's sad to hear that we've normalized schools not having school nurses, and we have to do better. Our current budget asks for $40 million in mental health supports for our K-12 schools, knowing that students are 6 times more likely to access mental health supports if they're provided in our schools. So we're proud of that work, and we ask you to support that budget.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Secretary, on a small item that's very, very looms large in my district. You know, the department's implementation of the FAFSA Simplification Act has regrettably produced uncertainties for students in my district. From the Northern Mariana Islands in particular, have faced numerous obstacles throughout this application cycle, and it must have been when they were designing the system, because you kept the one place in the United States out from the system, my district. The only place in the United States which couldn't access the FAFSA unless they declared themselves as foreign students, foreign schools. So your department was notified of this in January, and today 4 months, and the issue remains. You have provided a workaround, but I hope this is, and I know this is unacceptable even for you, sir, but could you tell me what the department needs in order to ensure a smooth application process for the next cycle? What would you do differently?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And you know, I can assure you that our team will follow up with you to make sure that the students that you represent get the best support and make sure that they have what they need to fill out FAFSA. And let me just tell you, you know, 30 years ago, I didn't fill out FAFSA. It was an intimidating process. I didn't want to give it over to my parents to fill it out. It was an hour-long process, and I knew the system was broken. 2 years ago, when I filled it out for my son, it was an hour-long process. And I can see why, you know, we're hovering around 60% completion rate before the simplification.
Mr. Secretary,
rolling out the plan has been a challenge, and
Mr. Secretary,
yes.
It's 100% in my district. No student can complete the FAFSA application. And I understand it's one of the items that, outstanding issues that needs to be resolved. I'm just asking you, could I please have your commitment that this will be resolved before the next school year?
Absolutely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're gonna-
That's it,
no.
Mr. Secretary. Thank you very much for your service, sir.
Thank you.
This will be my last time before you on this kind of hearing, but I know you'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sablan.